Hey guys, this is Robert here with Slow Life Trading, coming at with you with another video. You know, I've been doing a lot of talking about life in Mexico and my house being rebuilt, renovated, and all of that, right? Today, I'm gonna talk to you about trading. And there's no telling where I may go on this because I'm just gonna be talking. So, every now and then, me and my buddies were walking, and they may ask me a question about a particular type of trading. Okay, how's trading going, or what do you do when this happens, or whatever. And then different little things may come up. Well, one of the things that I'm gonna talk about today is being a zero DTE trader. One thing you got to realize is it's not something where you trade 1 or 2 times a month and you made your money for the month. That's not the way this thing is done. The way this thing is done is by being consistent pretty much every day. We have a few days where we don't trade. One of them is when the Fed is peaking, or any big news event where we know that can move the market unpredictably, okay, and at any given time. Okay, now the good news is that the VIX and the expected move, the way that we calculate it, at the 50% level, and then going on top of that or below that, we're protecting ourselves from most big moves. Okay, but then there are some times when the expected move is so low until it may not be enough to protect you. So anyway, with all that being said, the one thing that you really have to do is to be a successful day trader trading zero DTE is you need to learn how to be consistent. Okay, because you're making such small profits. If you're not consistent at winning, then a loss could erase all of your profits. Okay, so you have to get to the point where you're very consistent at your wins. Okay, in my opinion, one of the best ways to do that is by selling options. Okay, Robert, why is selling options so much better than buying options? Well, without even thinking about anything, one of the things that you'll hear about options is they say, or at least they used to say this when I was first getting into it, they said 95% of all options expire worthless. Now, I don't know if that's true or not. Okay, but think about that. If 95% of the options expire worthless, or let's say they all don't expire worthless. But what if they said 95% of all the options that are out of the money expires worthless? Well, even that is a big deal, because if 95% of all the options that are out of the money expire worthless, well, all you have to do is sell the option out of the money, and if it expires worthless, you win. Okay? So think about that. Let's just say 95% of all the options that are out of the money expire worthless. That must have been what they were really trying to say, because that actually makes sense. Okay, now, it don't mean all of them gonna expire worthless. Okay, so, but it does make sense that if they all expire worthless, when you want to sell that and let it go to zero instead of buying it and letting it go to zero. Okay, so that's one reason why. That's one reason why I sell options, because of that reason. Here's another reason why I sell options.
Turn right.
Hey, I'm walking from one house to the other house. Okay, so excuse that map. But one of the other reasons that I'll sell an option is because if you sell the money that's an option that's way out of the money, deep out of the money, I call it, you don't have to be, basically what you do is you get at least 2 ways to be right and win. One of those ways is if the market go the way you want it to go, you would win. The other way is, if the market don't go the way you want it to go, but it goes sideways, you would still win. And you would lose on both of those ways if you bought that option, okay? Well, not totally. You would lose if it didn't go the way you wanted it to go. Let me give you an example here. If I bought an option, the only way I could win is it has to go the way I want it to go, okay? That's the only way. So if you have 3 ways that the market can go, which is up, down, or sideways, wouldn't you rather have 2 out of 3 instead of 1 out of 3? Well, by selling that option, you get 2 out of 3. So that's another reason why I like to sell options, okay? And here the other thing is, you want to pick a strategy that it don't require you to do a whole lot of work because you're going to be doing it every day. If you're going to be doing something every day, you don't want to be doing a whole lot of hard work doing it. Okay, you want to make it as easy as possible. So one of the ways that I make it easy as possible is I only trade one thing. And that's the S&P 500. Well, you could pick a lot of different stocks and trade one every day, but then you got to hunt for which one you're going to trade. You got to have a stock list of about, at least 20 stocks. Pick which one you're going to trade, and then you got to pick which direction you think is going to go. And it's hard to get familiar with 20 different stocks, but it's a whole lot easier to get familiar with one stock. Okay, and especially when that one stock is 500 stocks. One of the things that Jim Cramer talks about is he said there's safety in numbers. And a lot of people say there's safety in numbers. Well, what does that have to do with stocks, Rob? Well, one of the things that it has to do with stocks is if you have a stock that you're trading that's got 500 in it, instead of just one, you don't have bad news to come out on one company and it kills the whole stock, okay? Now, don't get me wrong, because the S&P 500 is heavily weighted by about, 9 or 10 stocks. If something comes out, bad news on Tesla, for instance, or Apple, or Meta, or Microsoft, it could actually make the market go down, okay? But it may not make it go down like it would that individual stock. That individual stock could be down 20%. The S&P 500 may be down 1%. That's what I mean by safety in numbers, okay? And if you have bad news on one stock, good news on another stock, it could make it just kind of flatline and go sideways. So, deep out of the money options, guys, is why I choose selling something. And if you got something that's gonna lose value over time, and then in this case, a very short period of time, which is one day, wouldn't you rather sell that than buy that? Think about that. Anyway, guys, I done made this trip a whole lot quicker than I thought, walking from one place to the other. I may have to pick this up another time. But for now, I'm gonna end it right there. And I guess I'll holler at you guys later. Peace out, and I'll see you on the other side.